to Southwestern Christian University here in Bethany, Oklahoma. I want to welcome you into the Pickens Springer Gymnasium for tonight's men's basketball game. The Eagles come into tonight's game 9-2 and 3-1 in the conference. Tonight they're squaring off against Southwestern Assembly of God, the Lions, who are 10-2 and 2-2 on the season in the conference. This is going to be a tough game tonight. The Southwestern comes in off an 84-74 win over Langston on Saturday afternoon. Southwestern continues to be extremely efficient at the free throw line, leading the nation at 80.3% from the free throw line. And Derek Danzler is certainly leading the way there, 57 of 63, sitting at a 90% average, which is fourth in the NAIA and tops in our conference. The Eagles ranked 10th in the NAIA in opposing field goal percentage. We're holding teams to 39% shooting from the field. That's going to be a key factor tonight to see whether or not the Eagles can control the Lions' offensive output. The Lions come in as winners of 4 straight games, and the last 2 games they won by 30 points each night. So they have a lot of offensive firepower. They're outscoring their opponents by an average of 22 points per game. They have 2 players in Nicholas Mason and Joshua Kashila, I guess is how you'd say his name. They rank 4th and 5th, respectively, in the Sooner Athletic Conference, and so they're averaging combined 34.6 points per game. Last year, the 2 teams split the season's matchup. And so tonight should be a tough game, as Coach Rollins told us at halftime in the girls' game. The Eagles are not going to come in here and out-athlete this team. They're going to have to play solid, fundamental defense and then convert on the offensive end. Team stats, SAGU is averaging 93.5 points a game to Southwestern's 86. Southwestern's only allowing 76 points per game. So you can see right there that if we can continue that trend tonight, we have an opportunity to win this game. Southwestern Assembly of God is allowing 70.7 points per game. Southwestern shooting at 47% field goal percentage, SAGU 51%. 33% from the three-point line for the Eagles, 35% for the Lions. Southwestern holds the advantage in free throws, 80% to 69%. Rebounding is even. Assists are relatively close. The Eagles 14.5 assists per game compared to the Lions 18 assists a game. So the Lions can put some pressure on you. They're averaging 12 steals a game. So we're going to see tonight. The Eagles are back up to full strength, only missing 2 players tonight. Against Langston, they were missing 9 players. So they are missing a couple key players. Still have Reese setting out along with Sullivan. So Coach Rollins will have to go a little deeper on his bench, but at least he has some more help tonight. And also picked up a couple new players over the break. Desjuan Sanders and also Trenton Washington. So we'll see if they factor in. Both of them are seniors. We'll see if they factor into the rotation this evening. Well, we're going to go down to courtside here in just a moment for the introductions of your starting lineup. I can tell you that Madkin, Danzler, Anderson, White are starting along with Charles Dixon. And so we'll see how that plays for the Eagles. Lions are doing their kind of like the scrum that you used to do in football where everybody dives for the ball. They did that just now and hyped up their team. And I'm going to send it down courtside for our introductions of our starting lineups as we look forward to a tough game tonight. Here we go.
Sophomore guard, number 5, Nicholas Mason. Junior guard, number 10, Joshua Mishra. Senior forward, number 14, Kenton Williams. And senior forward, number 21, Darian Davis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. Here are your Southwestern Christian Eagles. Junior guard from Chicago, Illinois, number 2, Charles Chuck Dixon. Junior forward from Tempe, Arizona, number 5, Derek D. Block Dansler. Junior guard from Midwest City, Oklahoma, number 13, Richard Optimus Henderson. Junior guard from Houston, Texas, number 14, Christian the General White. And senior guard from Fort Worth, Texas, number 1, Darius
Well, there's your starting lineup. The Eagles are in their home whites, trimmed in royal blue. The Lions are in purple, trimmed in black and white. This will be a test for the Eagles size-wise. The Lions start out with a 6'6" guard and 2 6'7" forwards. And so probably one of the taller lineups the Eagles have faced this year. We'll see how that plays out. And so we're ready for the jump ball. Good crowd here tonight. School's back in session, so all the students are back from the Christmas break. It's good to see them here supporting the Eagles tonight. Dansler will do the honors jumping for the ball against Williams at center court. And here we go. And the Lions don't even attempt to jump for it. He just lets Dansler go up and tip it back to Christian White to set the offense for the Eagles. Ball into Dansler's hands, over to Dixon. White's got his man down on the blocks, but Dixon takes it back out and kicks it over to Anderson. Now back to White at the top of the key. Puts the ball on the floor, probing, nowhere to go. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Anderson has to throw up a desperation three, falling out of bounds and drains it for 3 points. Quickly down to the other end for the Lions. I don't know how he even knew the shot clock was running down, but he did. He put it up and drains it. That's a good start for the Eagles. We're going to get a quick foul called on Charles Dixon. That's his first, team's first. And we're going to have a foul called on Christian White, trying to guard number 5, Mason. 3-inch size difference there. Mason converts the basket, and so he's going to go to the line for a 3-point opportunity. They've corrected the shot that Anderson made, and they're saying it was a 2-point shot. I'm not quite sure how they think that happened since he was falling completely out of bounds, but they're going to call that a 2-point shot. So the score's tied right now, 2-2, with Mason at the line, misses his free throw, and Dansler controls the rebound, kicks the ball over to White. White brings the ball across the timeline. White kicks the ball over to Madkin. Madkin ball fakes, gets his man up in the air, kicks it deep outside to Dixon, who takes a long three-point shot contested. And it's going to result in a fast break basket for number 10, Kashila. And we're going to have a quick timeout by Coach Rollins as he sees that our defense is not rotating back and the Lions are exploiting it on a fast break. As soon as the ball hits the ground, they take off, and they're getting some easy layups on the other end. So the Lions are up 4-2 early. Early timeout by Coach Rollins to make an adjustment. We'll see if the Eagles can respond. It's apparent that the Lions are extremely athletic, very, very fast. And Eagles weren't quite ready for that kind of speed, I don't think, and so they're adjusting a little bit. Dixon inbounds the ball to White. White brings it across the timeline. The Lions are in man-to-man. Dixon over to Madkin. Madkin shows the ball and steps back for a long three. It's long. Dixon corrals the rebound and takes an ill-advised three. And we're going to get an off-the-ball foul as Madkin went up. I believe they've changed that call and put the foul on Dantzler. I'm not sure that was exactly right. Anyway, the Eagles are in full court pressure, trying to slow the Lions down a little bit. They can bring the ball across the half court. Number 5, Mason, goes up and misses, but he gets his own rebound way outside. Three-point shot taken by the Lions, but number 10 controls the rebound. And we're going to get a 3 seconds in the lane. So Eagles will get the basketball, down 2-4. Dixon with the ball at the top of the key. Dantzler now takes the ball, puts the ball on the floor, clears, and pulls up and hits the little jump shot to tie the score at 4-4. We have stoppage in play, so the net on the visitors' end can be pulled down. There we go. Dantzler helps the referee. And so the Lions are going to inbounds. Eagles are back into full court pressure. Number 5, Mason puts the ball up, misses. Dantzler corrals the rebound. Madkin brings it across the timeline and gets his layup attempt blocked, but out of bounds to the Eagles. White inbounds the ball to Madkin. Madkin dumps the ball baseline to Dantzler, and he's going to get a foul call on the floor against number 14, Kenton Williams. It's his first foul, team's first foul. So the Eagles will have the ball under their own basket with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Madkin gets the ball on the baseline. He's going to draw a foul on Kashila, his first, team's second. White inbounds the ball, sends it out to Dixon. Dixon can't handle the pass and turns it over. Once again, the Lions back quickly on offense, but number 14 tries to go quickly, Williams, and takes an extra step and gets called for the traveling violation. White controls the ball across the timeline for the Eagles. Oh, Anderson was being guarded by number 3, Noah Bowling. Bowling falls down. I think he just slipped, but the referee is going to call a foul on Richard Anderson. That's his first, team's fourth. It looked like to me that Bowling just lost his footing. We've got several of the Lions that are slipping Now Anderson's going to pick up another foul way far from the basket. His second. That's going to result in him having to come take a seat on the bench next to Coach Rollins. Number 4, Jermaine Henderson, checking into the game for the Eagles. As we mentioned in the halftime of the ladies' game, it's really important for Coach Rollins' guards to stay on the floor, and one of the important cogs to the wheel just had to sit down. And immediately, number 21, a 6'7" senior, Darian Davis, goes right over the top of the 5'10" Jermaine Henderson to get an easy layup. And then on the offensive end, Christian White turns the ball over. So the Lions have a 6-4 lead. The Eagles are still in their full court press. Danzler goes up and slaps the ball off the rim. Lions trying to find somebody open. Bowling tries to turn the corner on Henderson, can't do it. Number 10, Mason, turns the corner on Dixon, puts up a shot and misses. Number 14 is there. He's controlling the boards, but it finally goes out of bounds off of number 14, Williams. Williams is a handful, 6'7", but he's also strong. Dixon inbounds the ball to White. White brings the ball up. White over to Dixon. Dixon over to Madkin. Back now to White at the top of the key. Over to Henderson. Henderson's facing more height than he's probably facing in a long time. These guys are tall. Madkin gets stripped, turns the ball over. The Lions are on a fast break. Henderson disrupts it, does a good job to disrupt it. Otherwise, it would have been a dunk. And the ball goes off of him out of bounds, so the Lions maintain possession. Checking in for the Lions, number 12, Mitchell McCullen. Ball's inbounded to Williams, and Mason gets a dump down pass, turns and makes the basket to give the Lions a 4-point lead with the 15 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half. Henderson controlling the ball for the Eagles, crosses over. Ball's almost stolen by number 5, Mason. He is so fast. He anticipates well, shot the passing lane, and deflects it out of bounds. Otherwise, we'd have had a dunk. Matkins to inbound the ball to Henderson. Henderson brings the ball across the timeline with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Hands it off to Madkin. Madkin's probing, top of the key. Eagles are having a hard time turning the corner. These guys are so long. White elevates and misses the shot. And Dixon tries to fight for the rebound, gets caught reaching in. That's his second, team 6th. That's going to get Bo Archer, number 10, off the bench for the Eagles. And suddenly the Eagles are very small, and that could have some bearing as this game goes deeper. So Lions ball up 8-4, 14:53 left in the first half. Get a traveling violation called on Mason. So it'll be Eagles basketball. Henderson brings the ball past half court, kicks it out to Mackin. Mackin being guarded by Mason, and got serious issues, and makes an incredible left-handed layup and draws the contact. Foul called on number 14, Kenton Williams. That'll be his second. Team's second. That'll get number 13, Terrence Hubby, up off the bench for the Lions. So Matt can go to the line looking to complete the three-point play and draw the Eagles within 1 point. It was a huge play there. He turned the corner, went in left-handed, and was able to spin the ball in off the glass and draw the foul. I think the player was in the restricted area was why they called the foul, not the charge. And he completes the three-point play. Much-needed basket there. Southwestern's going to drop down into a 2-3 zone, almost have to, with Henderson and Archer on the floor together, give up so much size. Only problem is Mitchell McCullen is a shooter, and he rotates down the wing, gets a wide open look at a three, and drains it. And Madkin travels, coming across the timeline from Henderson. He receives the pass and shuffles his feet and gets called for the travel. 11-7, Eagles trailing by 4. Mason kicks the ball over to Kashilla, back out to McCullen. Can't leave him, and he pulls up and almost drains another three. 21 gets the rebound. 13 misses the shot, but 13, Hubby goes up and gets the rebound and gets fouled on the putback. That foul's called on Madkin. That's his first, team 7th. Hubby's going to be at the line shooting 2. And he misses his first shot. That's going to get senior forward, 6'8" senior forward, 0, Ron Washington, into the game for the Eagles. This is he makes the second free throw. Hubby does. This is the first action for Washington in quite a while. He played the first couple of games of the season and then kind of went missing. I don't know if he was injured or what, but Matkins goes in, and man, he's playing big right now for his size, and puts up a left-handed shot and draws the foul on number 12, Mitchell McCullough, his first, team's 4th. So Madkin will be at the line shooting 2. Washington brings some much-needed size onto the floor for the Eagles at 6'8". Madkins makes the first shot. Hanging around, 8-12, Eagles trailing with 13:39 left in the first half. And he makes them both. Howard Turner's going to check in for the Lions. So for the first time tonight, pretty much across the board, everybody's the same height. So match up a little bit better now. McCullough with the ball at the top of the key, turns the corner on Archer, kicks it out to number 10, Kashilla, but he travels and gets called on that, so it's a turnover. Eagles basketball. Henderson running the point, brings the ball up the floor against McCullough. McCullough. Danzler puts the ball on the floor, pulls up, shoots a little 15, 16-foot jump shot, rolls off the front of the rim, and the Lions are on the attack the other way. Kashilla pulls a deep three and drains it. Danzler with the ball. Hands the ball off to Mack, and Mackins turned the corner, finds a wide open Washington underneath for an easy layup. Hubby put up a shot. Somebody came flying through it, didn't quite see who it was, and I think it may have been Madkin to disrupt that shot, but it goes out of bounds off of Danzler. Shot clock will go to 20 seconds. Lions will have the basketball. Eagles are down by 4. Typical Eagles this year, just scrappy, just playing really scrappy. Going to have to do that tonight. Inbounds ball to McCullough. McCullough finds number 21, cutting across the lane. He misses badly, but Kashilla's right there for the rebound and the putback. Henderson brings the ball across the timeline. Danzler with the ball at the top of the key, finds Madkin on the wing. Madkin kicks the ball over to Bo Archer. Archer puts the ball on the floor, and he's going to get called. Howard Turner's going to get called for the foul. That's his first, team's 5th. Christian White's going to check back in this time for Henderson. Bo Archer inbounds to White. White puts the ball on the floor, guarded by McCullen, gets a backdoor cut by Mackin, who hangs in the air and somehow, with some unbelievable strength, gets huge contact by Howard Turner, and he just hung in the air and finishes the play. I thought he was going to dunk it for a second, but he just hung in the air and somehow completes that and will go to the line to complete the three-point play. Also, Cody Farmer is going to check in for the Lions. Wow, what a play. Outstanding. Boy, Madkins is being aggressive to the rim, and it's paying off at the moment. And he misses his free throw. I think he was still pumped up from completing that basket. That was something else. The 5 brings the ball all the way down the court, misses his shot. Mason misses his shot. Hubby goes in for the rebound, but goes over the back and gets called for the foul. That's their team's 7th. Which will put the Eagles in the bonus. That puts Dantzler at the line. You don't want to put Dantzler at the line. As I mentioned in the pregame, he is 4th in the NAIA and tops in our conference, shooting 90% from the line. So Dantzler's at the line shooting 1-on-1. And he easily makes the first one. That draws the Eagles within 3 points, 17-14 with 11:56 left in the first half. And Dantzler makes his second. He's a weapon on the line, that's for sure. Full court pressure by the Eagles. McCullen gets back over to Kashilla. Kashilla over to Mason. Ron Washington steps out to help defend that. Number 1, Cody Farmer misses the three-point badly. Dantzler corrals the rebound, dumps down from Madkin to Washington. Out to Dantzler. Dantzler puts the ball on the floor, attacks the rim, scores the layup to tie the game up 17-17 with 11 minutes, 28 seconds left in the first half. Timeout Lions. Eagles are getting really aggressive going to the basket, and it's paying off. They're not settling for the long outside shots, which is good because right now they're shooting 0 for 3 from there, but boy, they're being aggressive around the rim, and it is paying off. Your first timeout by the Lions in the half. I encourage you to come out and support your Eagles. Gymnasium's probably 3/4 of the way full tonight, which is good to see with the students back in town. But there's still room here for you to come and watch if you're in the area. We appreciate you tuning in and watching us online, but it's not the same as being in the building, and we would love to have you in the building with us to cheer on your Eagles. Your Eagles are off to one of the best starts in recent history, at least in the last 10 years. A 9-2 start is a great start, and so things are looking really good for the Eagles right now as Coach Rollins puts his stamp of identity on this team going through the first part of the season, and I'm sure it'll just get better as we go. Eagles are back on defense, full court pressure still. Seemed to change the tempo of the game a little bit when they went to this full court press, and Lions had trouble getting the ball in, almost picked up a 5 count. Mason will handle the ball. He's a big kid to be bringing the ball up. He's 6'7", I believe. No, 6'6", playing guard at 6'6". He's a handful. Good play by Washington, almost steals the ball from Mason, but then Mason grabs it back and travels. That's going to get number 21, Darian Davis, up off the bench, coming in for the Lions to replace Hubby. White brings the ball across the timeline, being guarded by McCullen. I believe they called a tip ball out of bounds on the Lions. I'm not sure he actually tipped it. It looked like to me it hit the net as White threw it across the baseline all the way across to the other side. But we'll take the call. Noah Bowling in for the Lions, in for McCullen. White kind of threw the ball in a little suspect, and Madkin had to just try to save it and ends up throwing it away. So the Lions on the attack offensively. Mason with the ball up the top, rises up and hits the little mid-range jump shot to give the Lions a 2-point lead. White controls the ball for the Eagles. Kicks it out to Mackin. Mackin ball fakes, gets Kashilla in the air and draws the foul to put Madkin on the line for 1-1. That's Kashilla's second personal foul. That's going to get number 15, Cortland Blake, up off the bench for the Lions. Kashilla will have to take a seat with 2 fouls. Mackin on the line shooting 1-1. And he makes the first one to pull the Eagles within 1. And Madkins hits the second. Full court pressure again by the Eagles. Mason with the ball on the wing. Mason goes up, misses. Dantzler controls the rebound, kicks it out to Bo Archer, who brings the ball up and wisely pulls it out. Did not have number. White goes hard to the basket, misses the layup, but Ron Washington's there and completes the basket. Strong rebound and basket there for Ron Washington. Fouled by Bowling, his first. He just muscled that ball up and it went in. McCullen's going to check back in for Farmer. Washington's going to be at the line with a chance to complete a 3-point play and give the Eagles a 3-point lead. And he misses the free throw. So just a 2-point lead for the Eagles. Mackin pressuring Bowling up top. He gets rid of it to McCullen. McCullen over to Blake. Blake back to Bowling. Over to Mason. Now to number 21, Davis. Back over to McCullen. But White's right up on him. Makes him go baseline. He tries a behind the back pass that Mason was not ready for. And the ball rolls off of Mason's feet into the out of bounds over to Southwestern. White brings the ball over the timeline. Hands it off to Dantzler. Dantzler kicks it over to Washington outside the 3-point line. Washington goes hard to the basket, gets fouled by number 15, Blake. That's his first, team's 10th. So Washington's going to be at the line shooting 2.
Number 0, Ron Washington, line. 2 shots.
In and out. Missed his first one. 0 for 2 from the line tonight. Made his next one. That's good. 22-19, Eagles. Still full court pressure by the Eagles. Over to McCullen, out to Bowling. Over to Davis, back to Bowling. Out to Blake. McCullen takes a long 3-point shot that Ron Washington rebounds. Out to White, over to Bo Archer, who puts the ball on the floor, gets up in the air, kicks it out to Madkin for a wide open 3. Madkin misses, and the ball goes out of bounds over to the Lions. It was a good look, he just didn't complete the shot. Like the aggressiveness of Madkin there. It was the right shot to take. Mason with the ball, breaks the press. Bowling hits a cutting number 21 who goes reverse layup. Darian Davis for 2 points. Christian White will bring the ball up for the Eagles. Being guarded closely by Bowling. Lazy pass by White gets stolen by McCullen. And he's going to hit a wide open Mason for dunk right down the lane. That's on White, just a lazy pass. Just a lazy pass. The result is the Lions go up by 1, 23-22. Danzler takes the pass from White, pulls up and hits the easy 8 to 10 foot jump shot, little floater to go back up by 1. Washington gets called on the reach around. Tried to reach through, and that's going to put the Lions on the line. Number 21, Darian Davis will be at the line shooting 1-1. He made his first one. Madkin's come out of the game. Checking in for the first time, number 21, a new player for the Eagles, Trenton Washington, also a senior. Started with the Eagles at the break. Danzler controlling the ball at the top of the key. Tries to bank it in, misses. Number 15, Blake corrals the rebound. Bowling bringing the ball across the timeline for the Lions. Over to Mason, back to Bowling. Danzler playing defense against number 15. Mason with the ball, serious size disadvantage. He steps back for the 3. And number 15, Blake, is going to get called for the over the back on the rebound. That's his second foul. And that's going to put number 21, Trenton Washington, on the line shooting 2. But first, we're going to get a timeout called. Trenton Washington, like I said, is an addition to the Eagles here at the Christmas break. Hails from Dallas, Texas. Attended Cedar Valley High School. So early entrance into the game for him. It's one of those things we talked about in pregame with Coach Rollins. It's all about managing relationships and chemistry on the floor. So we'll see how he fits in to the picture here for the Eagles. 24-24 with 7:27 in the first half. Quite a few fouls called, 19 fouls between the two teams. That's kind of been the storyline every game this season, just a lot of fouls called. Right now, Mason is leading scorer for the Lions with 8 points, and Madkin is leading the Eagles with 9. Derek Danzler's also added 8 points and 5 rebounds. So good showing by him early in the game. Every other stat is pretty even at the moment other than free throw percentage. The Eagles have taken 11 free throws compared to 5 for the Lions and are shooting 72% compared to 40%. So Trenton Washington misses his first free throw as an Eagle. Taking his second shot now and makes that one. Washington on Bowling now. Eagles still playing real aggressive man-to-man. Archer over guarding McCullen. He kicks it out to Davis. Davis dribbles, then kicks the ball over to Mason. Everything seems to go through Mason for the Lions, which I understand. Hubby puts up a wild shot, no call. And Bowling comes in and corrals the rebound. The shot goes up, is blocked, but it goes back out to the Lions. Bowling with the ball in the wing. Kicks over to Hubby for a long three-point shot, misses badly. Bo Archer comes flying in for the offside rebound, hands the ball to White, who brings it over the timeline. Washington to Washington. And we're going to get a jump ball called, and it's going to go over to the Lions. Bowling brings the ball up for the Lions. White on Mason. Mason to Bowling. Nobody on him, but he doesn't pull the trigger. Mason puts the ball on the floor, kicks it out to McCullen for a long three-point shot, and he drains it. Cannot leave him. He is a shooter. White to bring the ball up for the Eagles. Down by 2 points now. Goes between his legs, pulls up for mid-range, misses. Rebound controlled by Hubby. Lions are on the attack the other way with Mason bringing the ball down. Just throws up a wild shot. And White rebounds it, but number 21 reaches in and fouls him. Darian Davis with his first foul. That's going to put White at the line shooting 2. We're going to get wholesale substitution here for the Eagles. You're going to get Madkin, Anderson, and Dixon all check in after the second free throw. White misses his first one. Dantzler, Washington, Trenton Washington, and Bo Archer check out of the game. White back on the line for a second free throw. Drains that one. So the Eagles are trailing by 1 with 5 minutes and 54 seconds left. The full court pressure put on by White. Mason handling the ball for the Lions. McCullen gives the ball to Hubby. Hubby over to Bowling. Bowling's trying to look in to kick. He was trying to dump the ball into Mason, but Madkin kicks the ball. It's a good thing. Serious size advantage for Mason against White. So Bowling inbounds the ball for the Lions with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. McCullen with the ball on the key. Darian Davis travels again. That's the 7th turnover by the Lions, 8 for the Eagles. White will control the ball coming up the floor. Madkin puts the ball on the floor, finds a wide open Ron Washington, who puts the ball on the floor and makes an easy layup to put the Eagles back up by 1. Back and forth game here, which is kind of what we expected going into this game. Similar records. Mason hits a little running floater at the free throw line to put the Lions back up by 1. White brings the ball up. The Eagles behind the back. Kicks it out to Anderson, over to Dixon, who pulls up and hits the 3 deep in the corner. Nice shot by Dixon. Davis with the ball for the Lions, over to McCullen. Out to Mason, down to Davis against Ron Washington. Big old guys there battling. In and out for Washington, but Mason's there to pick up the loose ball and make the putback. And the basket counts and the foul's called against Christian White. His second, team's 9th. Going to give Mason a 3-point play possibility. Henderson's going to check in for White, give him a break. Also back into the game for the Lions, Kashila checks back in. Little stoppage in play to clean up some sweat. Mason went down on the floor after the shot. Dantzler back in the game also for the Eagles. Mason misses the rebound, but the ball comes off the rim to Hubby, who misses the shot. Back to Mason, and Dantzler goes up, and they're going to call a foul on him. I'm not sure about that one, but they're going to give it to Dantzler. That's his 5th foul, 10th team foul. So Mason goes back to the line shooting 2. Looked like Dantzler was trying to grab the ball, but they gave it to Mason. Mason hits the first of 2 free throws, and Ron Washington checks back in for the Eagles. He makes both of those free throws to put the Lions up by 2. Henderson will control the ball. Actually, he kicks it right back over to Dixon. Dixon controls the ball. Brings it up, hands it off to Madkin, who swings it over to Anderson. Ball fake Anderson. Anderson gets up in the air with nowhere to go. Gets stripped. Kashila's going to go up for an easy layup on the opposite end. Dixon inbounds the ball to Henderson. He brings it across timeline, hands it to Dixon. Back to Henderson. 15 seconds left on the shot clock, trailing by 4. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Anderson, back to Henderson, who splits the double team, throws up the floater, short, doesn't hit anything, but Ron Washington catches it midair, goes up for the layup, brings the Eagles back within 2. Mason controlling the ball for the Lions. Kicks it over to Kashila. Back to Mason. Mason tries to exploit the size advantage that Davis had over Madkin, but Madkin kicks it back out to Mason, who takes the 3 and misses. Madkin controls the ball in the front court, almost turns it over. Henderson corrals the ball. .13 seconds left on the shot clock. Nice backdoor cut for Madkin and a block called on McCullen. He tried to set up and take the charge, but he just didn't quite get there. That's his second personal foul. That'll send Madkin to the line to shoot 2. He makes the first. Draws the Eagles within 1. He makes both of his free throws. And McCullen's going to check out, and Howard Turner will check in. Full court pressure by the Eagles with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to tie ball game. Been an up and down ball game. Oh, suspect pass. Dixon almost intercepted it, but it goes off his hands, and then Kashila walks. And so we're going to get a turnover. The ball's going to belong to the Eagles. Be sure and stick around after we go through the stats real quickly here in the second. At the halftime, Coach Mark Arthur will be joining us, the head coach of the Lady Eagles, who won their game tonight earlier. Big comeback win. So Anderson controls the ball for the Eagles, brings it up past the timeline. Ron Washington puts it on the floor, pulls up, misses the jumper, and we're going to get a cheap foul called on Charles Dixon. That's going to be his third. Just a cheapie about 15 feet away from the basket. And so that's going to make send Kashila to the line to shoot 2, and it's going to also bring Bo Archer in off the line. Bo Archer checks in. I was just told that the Eagles are leading the nation in fouls. And so this is not unusual territory for them tonight, already with 11 team fouls called. But that's kind of been the story all season long. As I've watched, every team seems to be having a lot of fouls called. Extra pass by Anderson over to Bo Archer, who drains the three-point shot to give the Eagles a 1-point lead with 2 minutes left. Madkin putting pressure on Kashila, who throws his head trying to draw the foul, doesn't get it, kicks the ball over to Davis. Davis goes up strong against Washington, throws it up, and it banks in. We're going to get a delay of game called on the Lions. Just a warning. Back and forth game. Henderson will control the ball up the floor for the Eagles. Setting up the offense. Over to Madkin. Madkin puts the ball on the floor. Lazy pass, but Washington bails him out, goes up in the air, throws it in. Washington's having a game tonight. He's been absent most of the season, but he's already contributed 9 points off the bench tonight, so huge for the Eagles. 1 point lead for the Eagles. Bo Archer out top, guarding Turner. Kashila puts the ball on the floor, out of control, drops the ball, but it goes over to Turner. Washington controls the rebound. Anderson 1 against 3 and gets bailed out on the foul call. Turner will pick up his 3rd personal foul and send Anderson to the line to shoot 2. Tough play there. Richard Anderson went 1 against 3 on the fast break and got up in the air, but fortunately they bailed him out. We're going to have a couple substitution here at the after the first free throw. And Anderson misses his free throw. Number 21, Trenton Washington, checks in for the Eagles. For Bo Archer. Bo Archer's limping. I didn't see it happen, but he must have turned his ankle or something because he's going off the floor with the trainer. Anderson hits his 2nd free throw, and number 22, Jakeem Wynn, a sophomore guard, checks in for the Eagles. Hopefully Archer will be okay. Oh, Jakeem Wynn makes a great play, defensive play, and bounces it off of one of the Lions, and so the Eagles will get the ball. Extra possession here that weren't necessarily anticipating. Excellent play. Right off the bench, checks in defensively and makes a great play. Washington on the inbound play. We're going to get an offensive foul called. Ron Washington cleared his defender. That's his 2nd personal foul. That'll get Jakeem Wynn back into the game, who had checked out for Anderson, but now he's back in. Lions basketball, trailing by 2. Bowling brings the ball over the timeline. 48 seconds left on the game clock. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Hubby at the top of the key, kicks it over to Bowling. Oh, Henderson working hard trying to get around Mason. Serious size differential, 5'10". Henderson trying to guard a 6'6" Mason, and he ends up fouling, trying to get around him. That's his first foul. That sends Mason to the line shooting 2. He misses his first free throw, and Anderson checks back into the game for the Eagles. Mason's set to take his 2nd free throw shot, and he makes that one to pull the Lions within 1 with 40 seconds left. Henderson over to Anderson. Anderson's going to run the point for the Eagles. There's about a 10-second differential on the shot clock and game clock, but the Eagles are going to run it down here. Anderson just goes hard to the basket. Contact, no call, misses the shot. Trenton Washington makes a great play, intercepts the pass. Ron Washington finds a cutting Madkin, and Madkin puts up a wild circus shot but gets fouled. Foul called on number 21, Darian Davis, his 2nd personal foul. Madkin to go to the line shooting 2. A couple key substitutions there. Trenton Washington makes a key defensive play right there to intercept the ball, and Jakeem Wynn makes a defensive play right off the bench to give the Eagles a couple extra possessions. Matkins comes up short on his first free throw, and Jakeem Wynn will check back in for Anderson. We've missed a lot of the front end of free throws and have gone 1 for 2 on about 6 different free throw opportunities. Matkins drills that one with 9 seconds left. Kashila's way outside being guarded by Henderson, who dives for the ball. Mason pulls up, comes up short, and the Eagles go into halftime with a 2-point lead, leading 42-40. Back and forth half. So your Eagles are up 42-40. The Eagles shot 52% from the field compared to SAGU's 40%. From the three-point line, 33% compared to 27%. At the free throw line, not shooting our normal percentage, but shooting 66% from the free throw line against SAGU's 58%. The Lions are out rebounding the Eagles 19-12, in large part to Mason, who's just a handful. Equal turnovers, 10-10. Bench scoring, the Eagles are leading that 15-7. Pretty even in the paint, 24-20. Lions have the lead there. Your individual leaders leading all scores. Mason has 15 points. Joshua Kashila has 11 points. And Darian Davis has 7 points. For your Eagles, Mackin leading the Eagles with 12 points. Ron Washington off the bench with 11 huge points and 5 big rebounds. And Derek Danzler, who was saddled with some foul trouble, ended up with 8 points and 5 rebounds as well. So overall, just a really solid performance by both teams, up and down, back and forth. And so your Eagles lead 42-40. It's my pleasure at this time to welcome to the broadcast someone who's very familiar to you if you've been following Eagles athletics and Eagles basketball any length of time at all, Coach Mark Arthur. In fact, Coach Arthur is the namesake of our floor here in the gymnasium. He's been around a long time and has now been coaching the Lady Eagles. I believe this is your 5th year as head coach of Eagles, and we welcome you to the broadcast, Coach Mark, and congratulations on a big win tonight. Big comeback.
Thanks, Steve, for all you do here for us and helping us. And it was a great win for us tonight. Had to make some adjustments at halftime, and it really paid off.
Yeah, I was shocked. The Lady Eagles came out and only scored 25 points in the first half, but then they just exploded in the second half, and that's more like what we're accustomed to seeing throughout the course of the year.
When we play teams that have athletic guards, we kind of like to run our 4-out motion, but sometimes we don't match up, and we're just not very good with the ball in our hands sometimes, or good enough to continue to run that. So second half, we went to just one of our base rotation offenses to where everybody knows where they're going, and then if penetration's there out of that, especially with Andrade, she can take it.
Well, she's a handful.
Oh, man.
When she gets going to the basket, nobody can stop her.
She played a little hesitant first half. She picked up a couple offensive charges last game, and she was really just playing a little timid tonight. And we just told her to relax and play. And second half, she came out and really, did a great job for us.
She kind of set the tempo getting to the rim. They had to worry about her, and it kind of opened up the three-point shot a little bit.
Yeah, she had a couple big steals for us too. And defensively, you don't want to lose that second half. We really locked them down a lot better. I think, inside the arc they were 24%, and we held them to 16% from the three ball. So offensively we played better, and defensively we locked them down pretty good. I
gave a shout out to Clark and Vestal. They shut Rich down, who's leading. She's scoring almost 19 points a game. So I think she ended up with 10. I think.
Yeah, she's an All-American, and I watched her play last year against Oklahoma City University, and she had 40 one night.
Wow.
So she's a tremendous player, and we just try to keep her from catching, and whoever's Gardner's not giving any kind of help on defense, and just trying to really make it work for her, and we got into it and really played her well.
Yeah, I mentioned Vestal. She kind of seems to be the heart and soul, at least a big part for this team. I've kind of noticed as the season's progressed, however she's going, how the rest of the team seems to go. How important is she to your team right now?
Oh, man. We've got 3 seniors that I recruited when my first recruiting class, really, with Vestal and Mackenzie Jantz and McKenna Morley. Those 3 came in and have stuck it out here, and they all 3 lead in a different way. But Kylie, offensively, has just – she's shooting one of the top shooters in the country I think she's shooting 50-some% from the field, and just she's just doing a great job. But Mackenzie Jantz,
she was huge tonight.
She was huge, and she helps you where most people don't notice.
Yeah.
She's just so smart and heady.
She's always in the right spot, seems like.
And she just does the right things. So I'm proud of those 3. But you're right. Kylie,
she's kind of the engine.
She's kind of the engine that makes us run.
Yeah.
And we've just got to get back into things. I'm just glad second half we played better.
Yeah, I was thankful. I noticed I was getting a little concerned because of the turnovers. Against Langston, we had 33 turnovers, which is kind of uncharacteristic.
Right.
We started the first half of this game and had 10, and I was getting nervous, but I noticed you only turned the ball over twice in the second half.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that at halftime, and against Langston, we had some mental errors on our press breaker where we didn't have somebody in the middle of the floor all the time, and we tried to make some changes at half. The two girls at half kind of stretched their defense a little bit, and they kind of forgot the other part of the job they're supposed to do, and so it kind of left us hanging some. But we just didn't do a very good job against Langston. But I was proud of the way the girls battled back. And
yeah, you'll get them again.
Yeah,
I said on the broadcast, I think after the other night, and you never know, but I think next time you face them, you could be looking at a 30-point victory.
Yeah, on the road at home on this conference, there's never any easy ones.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all so difficult. And, you can lose to the last place team. You can beat the first place team.
Yeah.
It's just you can't take anything for granted, and it's just so tough. And it's a lot about matchups,
Sure is.
And but I'm really proud of the girls today the way they fought back because it could have been a devastating loss for us.
Yeah. Any key games here in the near future that kind of stand out to you on the calendar?
The next four are really tough. Next three for sure. We got Texas Wesleyan on Saturday down there.
Oklahoma City University.
Oklahoma City on Tuesday, and then John Brown on Thursday, I think, and then Bacone the following Saturday. So three big conference games. Texas Wesleyan played at NCAA Division I, University of Texas at Arlington the other night to 2 points.
Oh, my word.
And so we've got them at their place on Saturday. We're going to go down tomorrow night, go down a little early.
Trying to miss the weather a little bit.
Try to miss the weather, and we'll practice there at Texas Wesleyan tomorrow evening. And then just get a good night's rest and get up about noon and head over there to get ready to play a 2 o'clock game Saturday.
So talk about the chemistry of the team a little bit. From what I can tell, I know it can be different in the locker room, and a lot of us don't see in the locker room, but just from the outside looking in, I haven't seen what you can see sometimes on these teams with jealousy or any of that or tension. It seems like the team, they really genuinely care about one another and they hang out together, and from what I can tell, the chemistry seems to be really solid.
That's definitely our strength. I mean, because we're not as athletic as most of the teams in our conference. We're undersized, and I tell the girls, we have got to be on the same page, and they work at it to make that happen.
Yeah.
We talk to them about it, but they work at it, and they really do care about each other, and they pick somebody up when I'm chewing on them a little bit, and they're not scared to give the extra pass to the person.
Right.
It doesn't matter who scores as long as we win.
Yeah, it really hadn't mattered who's on the floor. I've noticed, sometimes when a player gets subbed, they pout or whatever. I haven't seen that this year at all.
No, they've kind of all bought in into the team thing, and so that's a good thing. Anytime you get a new player eligible like Tamiris, it takes a little time to get that thing rolling again, because it changes up your substitution patterns a little bit.
Yeah, and they stand around and watch her a little bit sometimes.
They do, yeah, and so because she's so talented.
Yeah.
But we're working with her on, let the game come to you.
Right.
Don't think every time you catch it you got to just go make something happen for us, because you don't.
Right.
Go ahead and run the offense some, and then when it comes back around, and if somebody's running hard at you, that's when you take them. So she's just doing a better job there of learning that, and I think she'll get better. She's only got 3 games under her belt right now.
Well, she made
a few more now, I guess.
Yeah,
now.
she made an extra pass tonight that resulted in a 3-point play that was really key, I felt like.
Yeah, but she is so athletic.
Yeah,
and
she is.
Once she, gets accustomed to what we're doing and that sort of thing. Coming out of a JUCO, a lot of times the JUCOs, they just kind of play fast.
Yeah.
And
get the ball and go.
She'd be great at that.
Yeah.
But tonight she did I mean, her and Kylie had a break one time, and I mean, Tamaris just ran hard. Nobody can keep up with those two hardly when they're in the open court. And Kylie made a great pass to her in a finish, but I really think, I mean, defensively, we really locked in second half.
Yeah, you did. I felt like you did.
I think we outscored them. What was it, 49-26?
Yeah. It was a complete turnaround.
So it was a complete turnaround, and we needed that because we needed, once you struggle against Langston and you're coming back, you've kind of got to give yourself a little hope,
Yeah, I was concerned that if they came out too flat and got beat, it would be one of those season turners,
It could be.
Yeah.
So getting another W, and Saturday will be tough, but hey, we're going to go down there and play, and I know defensively we'll do the right things. I mean, I even thought first half tonight we played good defense.
They just made some shots.
We just couldn't, and we didn't make anything.
Yeah, I've said over and over again, guys and girls in this gym, going north, you can't score. Yeah. Going south, it's like the bucket opens up. I don't know what the difference is, but it's been kind of weird. It's happened all season long. So,
but they're playing hard and they're working hard, and that's all you can ask as a coach. And I tell the girls, if we give everything we've got and play hard and do the right things, I can take a defeat. It's when we don't play good, like the other night, we're turning it over 33 times.
Those hurt.
That's not our kind. We just weren't locked in what we were doing and those kind of things. But hopefully you learn from it and don't let it happen again.
Well, I think they did. It looked like they did tonight. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. I want to shift gears just a little bit. I know a lot of our listeners, certainly a lot of the people around the nation are praying for you. They're aware of the health issues you've been having, and just wanted to see if you want to give everybody an update, how it's going, how the treatments are going.
Yeah, everything is really going as good as could be really expected. As you know, I've got Crohn's disease, so I've got an inflamed colon a lot, so they were really skeptical about giving me radiation, and they ended up doing this proton therapy. It's a new strategy where they can shoot these radiation beams in between the colon and the bladder.
Wow.
And they're giving me a low dosage. That's why I'm doing 45 treatments.
About halfway through, I think.
I've got 26 down. I've got 19 to go.
Gotcha.
After tomorrow will be 18. Going Monday through Friday. But I've had minimal side effects, really. Just
that's awesome.
Some fatigue, basically.
Sure.
And that's pretty much it. I mean,
that may be age, Coach.
That could be age. That could be age. But no, the Lord, I give him all the glory.
Yeah.
He's really been with me. I mean, when I first discovered it, the doctors, they wanted to take out my whole colon. They wanted to take out my whole bladder, put 2 bags on me. And I didn't believe that. And so, as you know, I went to Chicago for a second opinion, and those guys, and that was the big concern was, we can treat you with it, but it could happen during the treatment session, depending on how the radiation affects the colon. You might have to do that. So
we still need to be in prayer.
So still need to be in prayer that the colon and the urethra and the bladder all take it okay, and because if it happens, that's a possibility that could happen. But so far right now, I feel pretty good, honestly. I'm trying to walk a couple miles a day, stay somewhat active.
Sure.
Some days I don't get it done like I should, but just tired. But I appreciate you and your church and all the people from across the country. And I mean, I've got people outside the country just praying for me. It's been a blessing, really.
Well, we'll just keep up the prayer, and I just encourage everyone to continue that prayer covering for Coach Arthur as he presses on through this treatment. We're just believing for total, complete healing. And so, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here at halftime, and just encourage all of our Eagles fans to stay tuned and continue to support the Eagles. I encourage you to come out and watch. If you're in the area, you ought to come out and check out the Lady Eagles in person. It's a fun brand of basketball.
Atmosphere,
It really is.
Yep.
So,
and Steve, thanks for everything you guys do. You and Danny, you guys do a great job, and we appreciate
Glad to do it.
Okay.
Well, and we're getting ready to start the second half here. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you next time. Well, we're only 30 seconds away from starting the second half. The Eagles men are up 42-40, and so we'll get started. It'll be Eagles basketball. And they'll be going to the south end, which I always say is the better end, it seems to be, for our teams. And so we'll get the game started here. Here we go, Eagles basketball. We're going to get a quick foul called on number 14, Williams. That's his third, team's first. Man, that's a quick foul. 9 seconds into the second half. Danzler with the ball, puts it on the floor, gives it over to Anderson. Backs out and gives it back to Danzler. Danzler goes hard, comes up short on the little bank shot. Mason controls the rebound. And White steps in and strips the ball. So the Lions will maintain possession. Ball comes into Williams. Williams puts the ball on the floor, being guarded by Dixon. Now out to Mason, and he throws the ball away. Charles Dixon pulls up and hits the deep three. Madkin kicks the ball. Sheila turns the corner, makes the layup. White handling the ball for the Eagles. Bowling falls down. Mason comes over and picks him up, but that leaves Anderson wide open, who receives the ball from White and drills the three. Back-to-back threes for the Eagles. We're going to get a double dribble. And Kashila, he kind of lost control, got both hands on the ball. So Eagles basketball, timeout, Lions. So timeout called by the Lions. The Eagles have extended their lead a little bit here. 6 points. So it'll be Eagles basketball. Bowling applying a little pressure to White coming up the floor, and it results in a turnover. Just took his eye off the ball, and it dribbled it out of bounds. So the Eagles have to switch over and come back on defense. Eagles find themselves up 6 quick points in the second half. Anderson guarding Kashila. He lobs the ball into Davis. Davis goes up, but they're going to call Danzler. Says he hit him in the back of the head, but that's Danzler's third foul. First team foul, but that's going to put Davis on the line, shooting 2. It's a big foul there for the Eagles. Davis misses his first free throw. Makes his second. So for the Eagles, you got Dixon, Danzler, Anderson, White, and Madkin on the floor. White bringing the ball up. Anderson gets it at the top of the key, puts it on the floor, pulls out and shoots the three, goes deep into the basket and pops out, and the Lions are on the attack. Kashila is going to pull up and shoot the jumper and drains it over Dixon. Anderson's going to bring the ball up for the Eagles. Mackin with the basketball. Kicks it out to a wide open Dixon. He pulls up and drains the three. Dixon can be a microwave if he gets hot like that. He can score some quick points for you. 14. Williams misses the bank shot, gets his own rebound, puts it back in. White to Anderson. Anderson's going to run the point for the Eagles. Lions are still in man-to-man. They're switching on picks. Christian White puts the ball on the floor, elevates, and misses to the left. Kashila running the point, lobs it in. It's a tall ask for Dixon there. He's guarding Williams, who is 6'7". Three-inches height difference there. Danzler on the baseline, kicks it to the free throw line for Anderson, who misses it, but Charles Dixon goes up for a strong rebound and tips it back in to get the 2 points and the foul. And that's a foul on Kashila. That's his third personal foul. McCullen's going to check in for the Lions, and Dixon will be at the line shooting a free throw. McCullen checks in for bowling. So Kashila's going to stay on the floor with 3 fouls. Dixon misses his free throw. And the Eagles are in a full court press. Mason pulls out and hits the three-pointer and pulls the Lions within 1 point. Christian White goes hard to the basket, gets blocked by Mason. Anderson corrals the rebound, kicks it out front to Dixon. He's going to heat check and drills the three from about 25 feet out for his third three-point shot. They're going to lob it back down the inside. Like I said, that's a tough ask for Dixon. Anderson makes a great defensive play, almost gets the turnover, but couldn't corral it. Mason corrals the loose ball and pulls up and hits the shot. Mackin driving hard, takes some contact, throws it up and gets the friendly rim on the south end of the building and gets the 2 points. Williams and Dixon banging down low. No help, and that's going to result in an easy basket for Williams. They've got a mismatch down there. White brings the ball into the front court. It's just too big of an ask for Dixon to try to. Oh, nice, beautiful shot by Danzler. He raises up from about 16 feet and drills it. Things are heating up offensively for both teams now. It's a big ask, asking Dixon to guard Williams. Just too much size difference. And then Kashila turns around and hits a three, pulls the Lions within 1. Back and forth we go. White's going to go hard to the basket, slides sideways, and misses the little leaner. And Williams controls the rebound over to Kashila. Lob down to Williams. Mackin steps in and deflects the ball. Williams is starting to breathe heavy. He's going up and down the floor a good bit. I'm sure they'll ride him as long as they can, though. Eagles are in a zone out of the inbounds pass. Threw it in for a lob for Williams, who mishandled it. White gets the loose ball, attacks the rim, and misses the little bank shot. White cannot get a contact call for anything. Ooh, Mackin slaps a hard-cutting Mason. It was a 2-on-1 break. That'll be Madkin's second personal foul. Probably saved a dunk there. They had a 2-on-1 break. Oh, they've got, oh man, White. I don't know how White did that, but from behind he blocked Williams, who was wide open underneath the basket. Dixon for a three, in and out. A little quick there. Kashila's pushing the ball for the Lions. McCullen drops the ball to Williams, who just manhandles Mankins down low to take the lead 61-60. No answer at the moment for Williams. Going to have to get Ron Washington in to try to even this up down low. Anderson has the ball. Madkin somehow handles that pass. I'm not sure quite how. Into Danzler. Danzler pulls up and misses. And Mason gets the rebound, and the Lions are on the break. And White's going to pick up the foul. It's going to be his third foul. Team's third foul. Going to put Mason at the line. Mason will be shooting two. And he makes the first. That's going to bring Ron Washington in off the bench for the Eagles. He'll take the place of Christian White. He makes both of his free throws. And Howard Turner's going to check in for the Lions. So the Lions now have a 3-point lead. Washington has the ball at top of the key, dumps it down to Danzler. Danzler turns and misses, and Kashila pulls the rebound. McCullen receives the pass from Kashila, and he's going to hit the Kashila as he's cutting. And Richard Anderson's going to have to pick up that foul there. Just a little lazy on defense by the Eagles, not getting back. That's third personal foul, fourth team foul. And Kashila will be at the line shooting two. And he comes up short on his first free throw. And he makes his second. Anderson brings the ball up, kicks it over to Washington. Anderson cuts back door, but he's stopped by Kashila. But he turns and throws a little floater. Scores a much-needed basket to bring the Eagles within two. And we're going to get an offensive foul called on number 14. Kenton Williams, his fourth. Team's fourth. Third team foul, correction. That's a big foul there. Gets Williams, who was kind of creating all kinds of defensive issues for the Eagles. Gets him off the floor. Anderson being guarded by Turner. Kicks the ball over to Danzler. Danzler's going to put the ball down. And we're going to get a foul called on zero. That's Turner's fourth foul. Team's fourth foul. Bowling's going to check in for the Lions. So Dixon will inbounds the ball for the Eagles, and we're going to get a timeout, Eagles. So back and forth we go. Still tight game. Eagles trail by 2 with 12 minutes left. Two big fouls there to get Williams off the floor, and then also Turner to pick up his fourth. Key substitution for the Lions. Once again, as seems to be the case this year, a lot of fouls called, 36 fouls called between the two teams tonight. with still 12 minutes left in the game. So Dixon will inbounds the ball for the Eagles with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Into Anderson. Washington has the ball top of the key. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Madkin. Madkin looking, probing, pulls up, shoots a long three, and drains it. Kashila brings the ball up for the Lions. Over to Hubby. Over to Bowling. And we're going to get an offensive foul called on number 21, Darian Davis, his third. That's the team's fifth foul. And Mason's going to check back in for the Lions. Anderson's controlling the ball for the Eagles, being guarded closely by Bowling. Over to Mack and back to Anderson, to Dixon, to Danzler. Danzler raises up, misses the little chip shot. He's having a tough offensive night by his standards. Although he's in double figures, he usually scores at a much higher clip than he is right now. Mason goes up for a high bank shot, misses it, and foul's called on Ron Washington. That's going to be his third. Team's fifth foul. So Mason is now at the line. Getting a little mouthy by both teams, I think, so referees just told them to not talk anymore. And Mason steps to the line and hits his first free throw to tie the game up, 65-65 with 11:16 left. And he completes both of his free throws. That's 24 points, 25 points for Mason tonight already. He's a handful. He's tall, fast, extremely athletic, and has the ball in his hand most of the game. Kashila is going to pick up a foul on a hard drive by Anderson. That'll be his fourth foul. That's two of the guards for the Lions now have four fouls. And that's going to bring Cody Farmer in off the bench for the Lions. We're going to be in the bonus on the next foul quickly. Ron Washington takes the inbounds pass, gives it over to Dixon. He puts the ball on the floor and takes a long three-pointer and makes it and draws the foul. Hubby hit him on the hand as he took the long contested three-point shot. That's Hubby's second foul. That is also Dixon's, I believe, his fifth three-pointer of the evening. And he completes the three-point play. Davis with the ball for the Lions, looking for the backdoor lob, wasn't there. Hubby's got the ball driving hard, gets the cheap foul called on Anderson for his fourth team foul. And that basket counts.
Foul number 13, Richard Anderson, fourth personal foul.
So Hubby will be at the line shooting one to complete the three-point play. That's going to get Henderson up off the bench.
Into the game for the Eagles, number 4, Jermaine Henderson.
.40 fouls called now for both teams. It seems to be a whistle on every move at the moment. Hubby misses the free throw, and Madkins corrals the rebound. Henderson will control the ball coming up the floor. Over to Madkin. who's going to get a pick from Danzler. Doesn't use it. Instead goes up on baseline, throws up a wild shot that Bowling corrals and pushes up. And Farmer pulls up for the three and drains it. Danzler with the ball, turns and faces the basket. Dixon throws up a long three. Rebound Hubby. That was a heat check, I think. Davis on the baseline being guarded by Danzler. No help there. But Danzler plays good, solid defense and winds up taking the missed shot away from him. Washington couldn't handle the pass from Madkin. They ended up turning over. Danzler's hustling down. Madkin comes out of nowhere and blocks the shot, but they're going to call basket interference on Madkin. So the basket will count for Mason. And McCullen will check back in for the Lions. Lions have a 4-point lead with 9:34 left. Henderson turns the corner on McCullen. Kicks it out to Madkin for a 25 to 30-foot three-point shot to pull the Eagles within one. That was a huge basket. Madkin's having one of the best games of the season for him. Mason is just a handful. Good gracious. Just a handful. We just don't have an answer for him defensively at the moment. Henderson turns the corner. We're going to get an offensive foul called on Henderson. He lowered his shoulder to get the corner. 17 foul. Christian White's going to check back in for him. He can get out of control every once in a while. It cost him that time. On the other end, Nicholas Mason has 30 points. He's hit 11 for 18 from the field, 7 for 10 from the line. He's 3 rebounds away from having a double-double, I believe. Farmer open for the three. Goes deep, comes out. White gets the rebound. Tipped out by Hubby. So the Eagles are still down by 3 with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in this back-and-forth seesaw game. Madkin struggles to corral the ball. It was deflected back across half court, but he goes and gets it. Washington puts his head down, misses the layup. Hubby came over and challenged it, and I think Washington thought he was going to get contact, missed the layup, and so the Lions are on the attack. Mason is going to draw the foul on Dixon. That'll be his 4th. Coach Rollins has got some decisions to make. He's got a bunch of players with 4 fouls. This is going to come down to a war of attrition. Mason's at the line shooting 2, hits his first one for his 31st point. That's going to get Trenton Washington up off the bench for the Eagles. He'll check in for Dixon. Mason hits both free throws. White with the ball on the far side. Being guarded by McCullen. Back out to Washington, to Madkin. Only 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Madkin goes baseline, finds a wide open Washington who he dishes the ball to, and he gets the flush to pull the Eagles within 3. Good assist there from Madkin. Madkin's having a monster game. This is one of his best games of the year. He's got 20 points. Going to call the foul on Christian White. And that's his 4th. That's 3 players the Eagles have with 4 fouls. Jermaine Henderson is going to have to check back in. So both teams have 3 players with 4 fouls. Sends Mason back to the line where he is 9 of 12 at the moment with 32 points. He drains the first one for his 33rd point. As advertised, it's been the Mason-Kashila show. 33 points for Mason, 19 for Kashila. No one else in double figures. So they have ridden these guys, although Kashila's been in foul trouble the second half. So Masons have to just take the team on his back, and he's done so far. Interestingly enough, he has no fouls on him either. So it's not likely you're going to get him off the floor anytime soon. Ron Washington steps back and hits the 2. Ron Washington's having a monster game. Best game of the year by him, easily. Now Trenton Washington's drawing the assignment of trying to stay with Mason. I'm not sure he can. He's got a nasty crossover. And he pulls up and hits the shot at the free throw line for his 35th and 36th point. Madkins for 3. Drains it to pull the Eagles within 2. Madkins has 23 points. Wow, just a back and forth game. So everybody's trying to catch their breath. 81-79 with 6 minutes left. Both teams in bonus. On the next foul by the Eagles, the Lions will be in double bonus. Matkins hit 3 3-pointers as well this evening. But they're trying to fight step with Mason with 36 points. Timeout on the floor. Mason's having to carry the load for the Lions with Sheila in foul trouble. So it'll be Lions basketball, up by 2 with 6 minutes left. Bowling will bring the ball up for the Lions. Picks his dribble up, nowhere to go, throws the ball away. He panicked when he picked his dribble up. Danzler with the ball in the front court for the Eagles. Drops it off to Washington. Ron Washington puts his head down, goes to the hole, throws up an air ball. Not sure if it got tipped or what, but it just didn't look right. McCullen comes away with the ball coming up the floor. Matkins pressuring him. Trenton Washington working his rear off trying to corral Mason, but that's a tall order. Jermaine Henderson, shortest guy on the floor, gets the rebound and then picks up a cheap foul from number 21, which is Kenton Williams' 5th foul. Oh, correction. That was on Darian Davis, his 4th team foul. That'll get Kenton Williams up off the bench and Kashila back in for the Lions. So they'll be back up at full strength now. Henderson will be on the line shooting 1-1. Big rebound there for Henderson. And he misses the first free throw. Kind of in and out. Trenton Washington's just trying to keep the ball out of Mason's hands. Not letting him catch it so he doesn't have the opportunity to score, which is good defense on his part. If he gets it, he's going to score. Kashila with the ball. Got Henderson on him, mismatch size-wise. But there's Mason cutting down the lane, and he dunks the ball for his 38th point. Got lost on defense. Tough pass trying by Henderson. He likes to try that backdoor pass, but it was just not there, and he throws the ball away. So the ball will be the Lions. Anderson, Dixon, and White are going to check back in for the Eagles. Mackin's going to get a break. Dixon's going to draw the assignment of Mason. It's going to be a tough ask for him with 4 fouls. Kashila with the ball. Hubby now with the ball. And you're going to get a hold call on Dixon. And that'll be his 5th foul. That also puts Mason at the line shooting 2. And he makes his free throw. Makes them both, gets to the 40-point threshold. So Anderson's going to run the point for Eagles. He tries to turn the corner. Kashila cuts him off. He hands the ball off to Madkin. Madkin goes hard baseline. Makes an ill-advised attempt to get it to Danzler. It just wasn't there. Turnover. Turnover head is starting to raise a little bit for the Eagles. That's their 15th turnover, 2 in the last 2 possessions. Now Danzler on Mason. And another dunk as he turns the corner. Mason is just single-handedly destroying the Eagles right now. They just have no answer for him defensively at the moment. He's extended it out to an 8-point lead. Eagles desperately need a basket. Of any kind at the moment. Ron Washington kicks the ball out to Richard Anderson. He's wide open for the 3, misses. Kashila corrals the rebound, tries to draw a foul, does not do it. Madkins dives in and knocks it off of Mason, but they call it out on the Eagles. So it'll be Lions basketball with 3:57 left. So Mason is responsible for almost half of the Lions' points tonight. 42 of the 87 points. McCullum pulls up and hits. Oh, I thought he was going to hit the 3. Off the ball, off of Anderson. Coach Rollins calls timeout. Danger zone here for the Eagles. They've gone about 5 possessions in a row with no basket. Mason has put on a show tonight. So, Eagles are trailing 79-87. There's 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in the game. It'll be Lions basketball. The Eagles desperately need a stop and then need to score somehow. The Eagles have 4 players in double figures. The Lions only have 2, but between those 2, they have 61 points, so makes it hard. They're taking most of the shots, but the dilemma is they're making them. One of our double-figure scorers, Charles Dixon, has fouled out of the game, so somebody's going to have to step up and contribute some points if we're going to make a run here. So Lions basketball, new shot clock, 30 seconds, 20 seconds on the shot clock, correction. Out to Kashila. White blocks his three-point shot, but it goes right in the hands of Williams. He turns it over, throws it to Anderson behind his back. Anderson pressing hard against Mason. Mason adjusts the shot. White follows, misses the putback, and Mason comes away with the ball. Mason on the fast break. Nice dump down to Hubby, but should have been walking, but they didn't call it. So the Lions control the ball. Kashida with the ball out top. Anderson up on him tight. They're going to call a foul on Anderson and a technical foul. That'll be his fifth foul. He's done for the game. Kashila will step to the line and shoot the free throws. And Anderson goes straight to the locker room. Dixon goes with him. Coach Rollins sends one of his assistant coaches to go get him. Not sure why they went to the locker room. That's part of that culture that Coach Rollins is trying to shift, and done a good job with it so far. So Kashila will stand at the line, shoot the first free throws for the foul. He rattles the first one home. And misses the second. Those were the technical foul shots, and so now he'll step to the line and take the foul on committed by Anderson. Kashida back to the line for that. He now has 20 points. He hits that one for his 21st point. And he hits that one as well. 3 for 4 from the line there to give the Lions an 11-point lead. Christian White has the ball, dumps it down to Washington. Washington's posting up, turns the corner on Williams, but just cannot complete, but gets a fortunate bounce. White rebounds it and puts the ball in. That was a much-needed basket. Maybe a little too late, but pulls the Eagles within 9. They're going to have to find a way to get a defensive stop without fouling. Mason with the ball, being guarded by Henderson. Eagles have dropped into a little zone. It's probably a wise decision with as many fouls as we've got at the moment. Mason's wide open at the line. Kashida turns the corner, tries to lob it in, but throws the ball to Madkin instead. So Henderson back to Madkin. Nice find. Finds Danzler cutting down the lane, and he gets fouled by Mitchell McCullen, his third. So Danzler will be at the line shooting 2. Danzler misses his first free throw. Unusual for him, he shoots 90%. Timeout Eagles. So trailing by 9, 2:15 left in the game. We knew this would be a tough test. The Lions share a really strong record, 10-2 right now, closing in on 11-2. But the Eagles are sticking close. The Lions have blown out their last 2 opponents by 30 points. and averaging, beating their opponent by 22. So this is a good showing by the Eagles. They've been scrappy all night. Just got away from them there in the middle part of this half with all the foul trouble and with Mason doing what he's done offensively. Just finally got some room. Danzler sinks the second free throw to bring the Eagles within 8. Eagles up in full court pressure. Mason kicks it out to Kashila. Kashila's going to control the ball, kick it over to Mason. Mason falls and turns the ball over. But then Henderson gets fouled. He didn't see number 21 coming in from behind him, but Davis fouls him and picks up his 5th foul. That's going to send Henderson to the line for 2 shots. Hubby will check in for Davis, who fouled out. Davis checked out of the game with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Earlier, Dixon fouled out with 18 points, 2 rebounds. And Richard Anderson fouled out with 8 points and 3 rebounds. Henderson at the line to shoot 2, makes his first. Pulls the Eagles within 7. And he misses his second. And the ball goes off the Lions. Danzler fought for the rebound and tips it off one of the Lions' hands. So the Eagles have a chance here to get an extra possession. White inbounds the ball to Madkin. Madkin back over to White, over to Henderson, down to Danzler on the baseline. Danzler turns the corner, gets the easy 2-point shot, and draws the foul. That was called on number 13, Terrence Hubby. That's his 3rd personal foul. Danzler at the line shooting free throw. And he's money from the line. So he gets the Eagles within 4. The Eagles just refuse to go away. This has kind of been how they played all year. They just battle back every time. So Kashila's handling the ball up the court for the Lions. Gets it over the timeline. Mason now gets the ball from Kashila. Danzler switches across the screen to now be playing against Mason. He gives the ball up to Kashila, being guarded by Henderson. With 6 seconds left on the shot clock, somebody's going to have to put the ball up. McCullen's with the ball, and good defense, and they're going to have a shot clock violation by the Lions. McCullen tried to sell a foul, but it just wasn't there. So that's 3 possessions in a row for the Eagles. They get a stop. We got 1 minute and 13 seconds left, down by 4 points. Ball in the hands of Danzler. Now into Washington's hands. Back over to Christian White, who squares up for the 3, and it's just a little long. Madkins flies in, fights for the rebound. Timeout called by the Lions on the scramble for the ball. Kashila dove for it, gets it. That ball looked like it was in. It went deep in the hole and popped out. And then Madkin tried to dive for the ball and almost knocked it out of there. But the ball will go over to the Lions, up 4 points with 1 minute left. Eagles fans, make sure you follow the men's team as they travel this week. They head down to Texas Wesleyan on Saturday. Texas Wesleyan's ranked 22nd. And so that should be a good game. And then they turn around and play Oklahoma City University on the 14th. And then at home, the number 10 ranked team, John Brown University, here on the 16th at 7:45. And then turn right around on the 18th and play Bacone College at 3:45. So I encourage you to tune in over the next few days. Some important conference games that the Eagles are going to need to bounce back from a huge effort tonight and try to get some wins here. And so I encourage you to check that out. Stay up with the Eagles. If you're ever in town, be sure and stop by. It's a good game to watch. It's going to be Lions basketball with 1 minute left. Both teams in the double bonus. A little moisture on the floor from the previous possession when everybody dove for the ball. Pretty warm in here tonight. It's been hot outside, over 70 degrees today. But just hang on, because tomorrow night it's supposed to get down in the 30s. We're going to have a 40-degree weather change. So, but it's resulted in a lot of moisture on the floor this evening as the athletes have been sweating. So here we go. Ball's going to be inbounded by Mason. Over to Kashila, being guarded by Henderson. This is an important possession. The Eagles need to stop. McCullen with the ball, dribbles to the front, and hands it off to Williams. Over to Kashila. White switches to him. Now there's a serious mismatch between Williams and Henderson, who switches back now to Kashila. McCullen with the ball at the top of the key. Hubby's got the ball at the top of the key. With 6 seconds, Kashila pulls out and misses the three. And Ron Washington pulls a rebound. Christian White on the attack, comes up short on the little floater, and Mason comes up with the rebound. That could be your ball game, folks. We needed that shot to go in, and Ron Washington's going to pick up the foul. Christian White had a good look. It just wouldn't drop. Correction, they called that on Henderson, his third. I think the Eagles are going to look back on this game and realize they lost this game at the free throw line. They're 18 for 29. That is unusual for them. Mason missed the first free throw. Would have given him 45 points. Made his second to extend the lead to 5. Bowley checking in for the Lions. We've got a timeout by the Eagles. Free throws. Yeah, we were number 1 in the nation coming into the game in free throw, or actually on fouls, and it's kind of held true again tonight. But doing what we've been doing well. Yeah, they're actually leading the nation. My bad. We've been leading the nation at 80% from the line, and tonight only shooting 62% from the line. So that's been the difference in the game. Missed 11 free throws. A lot of times the front end, not in 1-on-1, but just miss the front end when you get 2 shots, and it has cost us an 11-point difference there. So trailing 5 points, 19.9 seconds left. Eagles basketball. Henderson, White, Danzler, Washington, and Madkin. White just got the ball, being pressed. Oh, almost traveled at the. Henderson throws up a wild 3-point shot, nowhere near. All the Eagles crash for the board, but the Lions come up with the ball. Kashila's going to be fouled, and that's going to be the end of your ball game. Number 14, Christian White, is going to foul out. Solid game in some ways for him. He had a tough shooting night, uncharacteristic for him. He went 1 for 10 from field goal range and 0 for 1 from three-point line, and ended with 3 points. He's kind of the engine on the floor, and so when he struggles, it makes it tough for the Eagles to overcome that. Kashila at the line hits the free throw. And hits them both. It's 93-86, 6 seconds left, and that's going to be your ball game. Danzler pulls up, shoots a long three, misses everything with 1/10 of a second left. So that's how your ball game is going to end. A good win for the Lions. They battle back, and the Eagles hung around, just couldn't ever get over the hump. Eagles lose 86-93. Back and forth ball game. The Lions shot 50% from the field, 31% from three, 71% from the line. Dominated the Eagles on the board. 41 rebounds to 22. Just a huge discrepancy on the board. Lions turned the ball over 20 times. Eagles shot 46% from the floor, 47% from the three. Again, uncharacteristically, 62% from the line, which was the difference in the ball game. Had 15 turnovers. Your individual leaders, of course, Mason, stand out. Just an unbelievable game. Led all scorers with 45 points. The only other player that really contributed much for the Lions was Kashila with 22 points. Darian Davis had 8 points. Kashila had 5 assists and 11 rebounds. Mason had 9 rebounds. So basically those two guys just dominated the stats for their side of the floor. For the Eagles, well-rounded. It wasn't like no one was scoring. A lot of scoring going around. We just couldn't get the stops we needed. Madkin had a great night, 23 points, 4 assists. One of the best nights I've seen him have, 18 points. Ron Washington, first real action for a good part of the season, 15 points, 6 rebounds. And Derek Danzler, steady as he always is, 14 points, 6 rebounds. But when it came down to it, Mason and Kashila were just too much and just too many missed free throws. Again, 11 points left on the table that the Eagles could have put on the scoreboard would have been the difference in the game. So from Southwestern Christian University here in Bethany, Oklahoma, this is Steve Ely signing off. Thank you for watching. Be sure and follow the Eagles in the next few days. They face off against some really important games in conference games. And we'll catch you the next time we're here in town against John Brown University. Good night. Hope you have a great week.